friends! Have you ever passed a class that you didn't realize you were taking? I usually fail all of those classes. But while I was looking over the challenges for the magical readathon, I realized that I actually passed all of the owls, not just the ones I was trying to pass. If only my education could have been like my last month of magical education, accidentally succeeding despite the fact that I didn't try. I sat through 12 OWLs, and if you want to see my initial TBR for this readathon, I will put a link down in the Chamber of Secrets. First, ancient runes. The blend of history, anthropology, and linguistics would probably make this one of my favorite lessons. The exam was on the heart rune with a challenge to read something with a heart on the cover or in the title. I read Super Adjacent by Crystal Sestari. It's got these cute little hearts in the lettering for the cover. I love it. Arithmancy is mostly math, which I am admittedly great at, even though I don't love it. The test was on the magical qualities of the number 2, and the challenge was to read something outside my favorite genre. For this, I picked up Hunter x Hunter Volume 2 by Yoshihiro Togashi. This is my spouse's favorite series, so I've been reading it whenever I want to read something outside of my usual genres. Astronomy required taking night classes, which meant reading the majority of a book when it was dark outside. For this, I read Emily of New Moon by L.M. Montgomery because I didn't want to read anything too scary. Also, it has the word moon right in the title. Perfect for astronomy. Care of Magical Creatures was the first exam I took for a class I didn't realize I was taking. I like animals, but I'm not particularly good at caring for creatures usually. The exam was on hippogriffs though, and I've always had a soft spot for witherwings. The challenge was to read a book with a beak on the cover. I read Apprentice Needed, the second book in the Wizard for Hire series by Obert Sky. I was reading Apprentice Needed for my History of Magic exam on witch hunts. The challenge was to read a book featuring witches or wizards, and this book was from the Wizard for Hire series, so it fits. Charms is a class I've always known I would do quite well in, as everything is taught with a straightforward purpose, but you can still use charms creatively once you understand how to do them and implement them. The exam was on Lumos Maxima, the most powerful wand lighting charm. I had to read a book with a white cover, and for that I picked up Hunger by Roxane Gay. Defense Against the Dark Arts always seemed like an intimidating class, maybe because of the lack of a consistent lesson plan and instructor. Still, even though I hadn't wanted or intended to take an OWL on this subject, I did it, and I passed. It was on Grindylows, and to defeat them you must first read a book set at the sea or coast. I read Steven Universe and the Crystal Gems by Jocelyn Fenton, which takes place in parts in beautiful Beach City. Divination remains a challenge. The test was on my third eye, but my third eye wasn't developed enough to see that the book I picked out for this challenge was going to auto-return to the library before I got a chance to read it, and there were too many people on the wait list to renew it. So I reassigned the numbers on my TBR and re-rolled. Reading instead, The Woman Who Smashed Codes, A True Story of Love, Spies, and the Unlikely Heroine Who Outwitted America's Enemy by Jason Fagone. Transfiguration required spending time in an animagus lecture, and it ended up being surprisingly helpful for my herbology exam on the Mimbalus Mimbletonia. I wasn't going to do the herbology challenge since plants won't really be a part of my career path, but for the Transfiguration challenge I needed to read a book that included shapeshifting, so I picked up Ms. Marvel Volume 1 No Normal by G. Willow Wilson and Adrian Elfona. This worked out, as the herbology challenge was to read a book that starts with the letter M. Muggle Studies was another challenge I completely aced without technically trying. For Muggle Studies, all you had to do was read a book from a Muggle perspective, a contemporary book. My library hold arrived for the newly released novel The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, the third and final book in the Truly Devious series. I tore through it immediately. The last OWL one could take is Potions. And magical chemistry always sounded hard and boring, plus the teacher is mean, so I've never been interested. The exam was on the shrinking solution with a challenge to read a book under 150 pages. I read Rutabaga, the Adventure Chef, Volume 1 by Eric Colossal. I got 12 OWLs and I'm well on my way to my future career as a spell maker. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Let me know in the comments what your favorite class would be at Hogwarts. And if you want to see more from me, please subscribe, watch another video of mine, or support me on Patreon. And hey, I love you.